If you want to make a piece of media about people banding together in the face of disaster, trying to survive against the odds, space is pretty well-worn territory. But that didn't stop Fullbright, the team behind Gone Home, from trying to put their own spin on an old formula. Tacoma is both the name of the game and of the space station said disaster occurs on. You play as Amy Ferrier, a contractor tasked with boarding the now-abandoned station and recovering its central AI. One of the game's unique takes on the future is that standard security footage is replaced by augmented reality recordings, which means that instead of watching videos, the player sees events play out in front of them with virtual approximations of the people recorded.
Really? After all I've had to hear from you about the conditions VT has us working under?
Yeah, but there's that, and then there's this.
Some of the best parts of the game are when the player encounters large ensemble scenes where characters and conversations intersect and overlap. Using the ability to scrub through these recordings, players can experience the same moments from multiple perspectives in order to gain a better understanding of characters and events. Each crew member also gets their own personal vignette. Moments like these and a few others can be extremely personal and feel voyeuristic, and yet absolutely necessary to gaining a more full understanding of what happened on Tacoma. The problems start with the game's world building. The issue is not that the world isn't fleshed out enough, it's the opposite. Tacoma's vision of the future is unique and interesting, but much of the information on the subject comes in the form of emails, documents, and text exchanges. Like its predecessor, Gone Home, Tacoma is a game with limited interaction, which isn't a problem if the events unfolding in front of you are compelling enough to distract you from the fact that you're not really participating. The time spent poring over texts and emails does not fall into that category of compelling storytelling, and thus can bring players face to face with the fact that they are essentially wandering from text to text. For a game with such a short runtime, it seems strange to suggest that material could have been cut out in service of a better experience, but right now it just feels a bit overindulgent. Tacoma subsists on the strength of its characters and a novel central mechanic. The main beats of the plot may be familiar, but the world has a few new ideas to add to the mix. It's just unfortunate that in order to get the full picture, you might have to trudge through a few more text prompts than you might like. Ultimately, Tacoma succeeds more than it fails, and Fullbright has crafted a polished, mostly worthwhile experience that, like a lunar vista, is worth seeing.